Hey everybody, Sarah Francis here. I'm going to talk to you about my friend Wobot. Here he is. This is actually a little bit bigger than he would be in his stories. I have a plush version that I brought to BookCon. So Wobot started as a high school doodle. I was just sitting in class one day, all of a sudden I just drew a little rectangle with 2 circles and some antennae, and I called him Wobot. You know, robot, but with a W. But his name actually has more significance later. So a couple years after that, I'm into my bachelor's degree of media communications at Full Sail University, and one January class was we had to design and write a children's series, or a children's book, I should say, based off of an old fairy tale. Some people just use stock images, but I decided, being the crazy, insane person that I am, I'm going to illustrate and create my own book for this class. Lo and behold, Wobot and the 3 Technicians was born. Now, if you couldn't tell, Wobot and the 3 Technicians is based off of Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. So, in this class, I only had 3 days to create this book. So in 3 days, I had written Wobot and the 3 Technicians, and 2 weeks later, I put it in print. I was in an excellence program, which is basically like the honors program, and I went all the way and made it a print book for that project, which I got an A on, which was awesome. And right now I have 2 books for Wobot. The second one is Wobot the Gear in Motion. And now this takes Newton's 3 laws of motion and puts them into a way that's easier for 2nd to 4th graders to understand. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is probably a really weird jump. So you have fairy tales and you have science. So Wobot's fairy tales are really generated towards little kids, boys and girls, boys more specifically, because sometimes learning about fairy tales is not that appealing. So I wanted to recreate the fairy tales, bring them back to life for these kids in a way that's more modern. And for science, I am a teacher at heart. I love to teach. My master's was instructional design and technology, so this is literally my passion. And teaching kids about science in a way that they can understand and that they can grasp is something that really is amazing. And along with these books are worksheets so kids can be able to understand the science more. They can do the experiments along with Wobot to understand the laws of motion and measuring and everything that he has to offer, as well as put themselves in the story of the fairy tales. Now, as for age levels, Wobot and the 3 Technicians, this is more, you know, kindergarten to 1st grade. Wobot the Gear in Motion, it's written for a little higher age level, so I would say like 2nd to 4th grade or so, but they're just fun reads for any kid. Final fun fact about the Adventures of Wobot series is actually for the same class in media communications. I actually had to make a podcast on the beginnings of this Wobot story. So I was creating a multimedia kind of world for Wobot. He actually had his own Facebook and Twitter at one point. He doesn't go on it that much anymore. He's a little too busy for that. But I made a podcast as to Wobot's beginnings, told by the daughter of the scientist who created Wobot, and Wobot's real name is W0307, or his serial number. And he was created with the purpose to go out into the world and bring back the childlike innocence and just make kids curious again. And that's what I hope to do with my Wobot books. So this is actually the first video I've ever done about Wobot, and like I said, he means a lot to me. I take him to every trade show, I take him to every book fair, and he is just the life of the party. He loves selfies. So if you ever come see me at a book fair or anything, come take a selfie with Wobot. He loves it. And I hope you love him as much as I do. And I can't wait to start writing more books and sharing them with the world.